Good morning. Here's what's ahead on NBC5 News today. Where will you watch tomorrow's game? Soldier Field at home, or maybe a smoky bar, a reprieve for some bar owners?
Plus, the wife makes a dream come true for her husband, sending him halfway across the world just to go to tomorrow's game.
Looks like it might snow in time for that game. Ginger will have the call on the game day forecast.
Those stories. And do you know someone addicted to sports? My, what signs to look for, Rob?
All right, plus we're taking a CPR refresher course here in Studio 5 this morning. The NBC5 News Today at 6 begins right now.
Live from Studio 5 on Michigan Avenue, this is NBC5 News Today at 6 a.m.
I have a little friend with me this morning. Would you know what to do if your child started choking on a hot dog or a toy? What about your dog? Vicki Dank and Cindy Zabin, co-owners of the Glenview-based Heartworks CPR, are here with us this morning to give us a refresher course in CPR. And I'm going to do we have a name for this dog?
He's Aspen.
Aspen. All right. Aspen is going to sit here for a minute while we get started. I was telling both of you ladies that I took a CPR course. They actually asked me to take it from my daughter. I was so confused and so scared that if, in fact, I ever needed to use this, I would not be able to. But you're saying things have changed.
Right. Things have changed. In November of 2005, the American Heart Association came out with new guidelines because it was so confusing. They found people were doing nothing. So what they did was they changed these guidelines. They made them a lot easier. And if you can use the phrase user-friendly, it's user-friendly CPR now. And you take this course and you totally feel like you could help somebody.
All right. So let's get started here. And we're going to be doing this in the event of what?
Of a person who's had a cardiac arrest.
Cardiac
Or
arrest.
possibly choking.
Okay, all right.
Anything that would cause the heart to stop.
Okay, so while you demonstrate, why don't you walk us through what's happening?
Okay, so with the new guidelines, they're just making things a lot easier, but you always want to make sure whether or not the person even needs it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to tap your victim, and you're going to see whether or not he's responding to you. If there is no response, you immediately go call 911. We want emergency help there immediately. Early access is one of the keys to it. After you've done that, you're going to come back and you're going to open up that airway, and you're going to see whether or not that person is breathing, whether they need your help or not. You're going to do a quick look, listen, and feel for about 10 seconds and make a judgment of, are they breathing normally? They need to be breathing normally. If they're not breathing normally, you're going to give 2 quick 1-second breaths by pinching the nose, putting your mouth over the mouth, enough to just blow up the chest area. After that, you're going to go right into compressions. The new guidelines have changed so that the compressions are now 30 compressions to every 2 breaths, and that is all you're going to do until the paramedics arrive.
Oh, wow. So you do that for 30 times. Now, of course, you're using the plastic there.
Right. You're not going to use the plastic on a real
you
person.
Just go for it.
Right. These are our own mannequins. We do this for sanitary purposes so that when you're done, we pull the bag out, and so that you're assured that you're not going to pick up someone else's cold or, you know, anything else that might be going on.
Now, is this the same procedure you would use on a child?
On a child, the guidelines are still 2 to 30 also. The only difference on the child is that they want you to call first. Get the ambulance. You know, they want you to do 2 minutes of CPR if you're by yourself, because they want you to start getting blood and oxygen up to the brain. And then they want you to call for an ambulance. But if you are not by yourself, always call for emergency help first.
And what about dogs?
Dogs are very interesting because, unfortunately, you can't pick up the phone and call 911 and get an ambulance.
Right.
So dogs, you can actually perform CPR. This is Aspen. Okay. Aspens are one-of-a-kind choking mannequin. You know, not just dogs, but also cats. As we all know, we all dog lovers. You give your dog a bone, and then all of a sudden you hear that hacking, and you hear your dog choking, and, you know, what do? Well, you can actually do abdominal thrusts on your dog, just like you do on a human being.
Okay.
And it can actually save your dog's life.
So can you show us how to do that?
This is Aspen. This is Aspen, and he's been choking on a bone. And the first thing you want to do is you want to see if you can relieve the choking by holding him up by his hind legs and kind of shaking him a little bit. If that doesn't work, you want to do a quick 5 blows between Aspen's shoulder blades. If that doesn't work, you're actually going to do abdominal thrusts. So you actually pick up your dog, if possible. You find the area between the stomach and the ribs. Aspen's going to shoot something out, and you actually go ahead and you pop it out.
All right. And of course, all of this is far less complicated than it used to be, I got to tell you, because it was just a very long process that you had to go through. So you tell people, which I think is really brilliant, that making your New Year's resolution, this is one of the things you should really add to the top of your list.
Absolutely. The more people that know how to do CPR, the better chance you have. I cannot tell you how many times we've been in situations where we go in and nobody knows what to do. And it's always just somebody who saw it on TV. Well, that's not good enough. You need to know what to do.
Well, Vicki and Cindy, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Rob, back to you. Well, actually, you will have more information on our website at NBC5.com. Just click on the As Seen section. Now, Rob, back to you.
All right, great demonstration. Thanks, ladies.